Good evening, everybody. Coming live from the Robinson household. I'm David Robinson, no co-host tonight. Honestly, this time of the season, man, it's just, you just want to get this thing done. I put, some time into it every week, take some notes for, one or two viewers, whatever. It's fun for me to do, and I just want to get it done. So we're a day early this week. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Another shout out to my co-host, the commish, Anthony Johnson. He's had a couple of, honestly, when it rains, it pours, man. You have tough times in your life, and it just makes you stronger. He's going through one of those right now. Last week, his grandfather passed away. This week, his girlfriend's having some serious surgery. He's not going to be at BFD this week. Maybe pop in, give me a hand here and there, hopefully. But other than that, he's going to be out and taking care of business. Give him some prayers. Give him a shout out. Dap him up. We'll get into Week 10 action, and we'll start off with the Shock and Awe squad versus Amari's Sodomizer. And last week I said on Weekly that I was catching him at the right time. I was, but I come up short, barely short, 0.2 points. We had a lot of close matchups last week. It was a lot of fun out there. Cool things happening. My show notes say Cup out, Jets versus Buffalo, Kerryon Johnson survives his bye. Close call. Fucking Ebron. Cooper Kupp's out. Out for the season. Glad I built up some depth on my roster that it's not going to really cripple me, but now I'm dealing with two serious injuries. Obviously, Cooper Kupp out. AJ Green is going to be out for a couple of weeks, so I'm going to be a little thin at receiver. It's definitely going to hurt me. I'm glad that I'm in the position I'm in, but I'm not in a position where I can just dump away 3-4 games and still win the league, at least the regular season, which is it should be your goal. Playing fantasies to win the regular season. The Super Bowl is definitely a lot more variance. You got to go more like the NCAA basketball tournament, and the regular season is more like who had the best team all year, who was the most consistent team all year. New York Jets, I talk about it every week that you should always pick up the defense that's playing against the Buffalo Bills. And, man, I really wish the Bills would have played the Peterman, but they play Matt Barkley, who was, bagging groceries 2 weeks ago, and he actually looks like an NFL quarterback, so that doesn't help me out at all. And the Jets put up -3 for me, which is terrible. It's just I would have won if I would have played no defense. Which is illegal, but it would have been better for me. Kerryon Johnson, I make a coaching decision that cost me this victory as well. Jordan Howard or Kerryon Johnson is who I had to play. And in that matchup, you're going to play the Bear. You're not going to play the Lion. And I play the Bear, and even though the Bears, blow out the Lions, Jordan Howard just not getting love. Tyreek Cohen is a better running back to play in that situation. In Chicago, and Kerryon Johnson gets some love in the passing game in the second half, and the Lions actually put up some points. So, that's fantasy luck. It sucks. Poor decision on my part. I get Nick Chubb actually shows up for me. Waiver wire pickup 2 weeks ago. Nick Chubb puts up 34 points. So everybody that says that there's, it's luck. No, there's people out there. You just got to know when to pick them up. Survives the bye. Steve survives the bye. His Houston Texans were out this week. He plugs in Alex Smith, Leonard Fournette, who's going to be back and playing for him every week, I would think, and Amari Cooper, probably going to play for him every week. He just has a hodgepodge lineup, but, we both put up that number, and Steve puts up a slightly better one, and he gets the win. It was a close call. On Sunday Night Football, I think Steve had the only two players left playing.
What can you do?
He's playing Amari Cooper, and he's playing Wendell Smallwood. And legitimately, with 2 minutes to go, Wendell Smallwood catches a 5-yard pass that puts him over the top, and that's where it ends. I was hoping for a stat correction or some sort of luck, but Steve comes with a big win, goes to 6-4. He's right on that playoff bubble line. It's weird now. I'm telling you, I used to think, I thought 6-7 would get in, but that's not going to happen. Steve's at 6-4, and he is in 6th place. So, it's going to take a winning record to get in. Steve's definitely going to continue to win, continue to score as many points as possible to get in there. and fucking Ebron. Eric Ebron has been a thorn in my side for 2 straight seasons. Last season for a different reason, outside of football. More of a bubble reason that was ruined on a golf course by some weirdo screaming fucking Ebron. I knew the Lions must have lost because of fucking Ebron. And I'm watching last Sunday, and fucking Ebron goes off for 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Good on you, Steve. You picked him up early. You played him every week. I mean, you got to ride that horse till it's gone. Good for you, brother. We're going on to the next matchup here. We're going to look at 4th and 20 versus Auto Draft for the win. Show notes say puts up a number. 2 kickers. Saints versus the Bengals. 2 kickers. Kansas City underperforms and depth issues. Puts up a number. Derek puts up that number I talked about. Puts up 117 fantasy points, and that's a number that somebody's just got to go beat. And Jack's unable to do it this week. Derek, I want you to watch the show. I hope you're watching the show. Maybe I just got to slap you in the face and tell you what you got to do here. Derek, we're still rostering 2 kickers. I mean, it's unnecessary. You're only going to play 1 every week. There's always another one out there. I mean, you're rostering 2 kickers. This 2 kicker strategy makes very little sense, except for in very, very extreme circumstances. New Orleans Saints are for real. And I mean, they put it to the Bengals in Cincinnati. I mean, usually you would think that even if a team puts up a lot of points against, blows somebody out in the first half, that like Cincinnati was down 35-7 at half, and I'm thinking, and as Derek was probably thinking, because I believe, Derek started Andy Dalton. Well, at least Andy Dalton's going to get some points in the second half because, the Saints will play them soft and, they have some easy passes, chew up a bunch of yards. No, didn't happen. 51-14, all Bengals are just shut out. I mean, really just a disaster for anybody started the Cincinnati Bengal last week. 2 kickers, again. Now, this would be the one instance where I don't mind Jack actually owning 2 kickers, so long as this week he's going to drop his non-Justin Tucker kicker, who is Cody Parkey. That would be the only kicker in the league that I think that you have to hold on to. Tucker just makes too many 50-yard field goals. It's money from 50. That's a 5-point kick, and he probably makes 65-70% of them. So I don't mind him holding on to Tucker there. So I'm going to cut Jack a little bit of slack. Kansas City underperforms. And depth issues. I'm going to go 2 for 1 here because Kansas City underperforms. Now you'd say, Mahomes put up 20, Hunt put up 10. It's not that bad. No, because of his depth issues, he needs those players to go off for 25, 30 points every week. He doesn't get it this week, and he falls short. Moving on. Next matchup is I'm going to go with the Sweet House Buffet versus the Breeze Knees. Good numbers. Good managerial calls. Big backstack. Hot streak. White, Drake, Kelsey. High does it drop. Good numbers. I mean, they both these teams put up that number. Mike comes out ahead 119-110, but you had to go get the win. I mean, Mike's still on. I don't know. I think on Sunday Night Football still needed Saquon Barkley to put up 10 points, which is not a given. So Jamie puts up a number that he has to beat, which I like. It's a good matchup. Good managerial calls for Mike. Mike's got that big stack at running back, but he had Kenny Galladay on his bench that he could have played. He plays Mark Ingram instead, and that's a +7 for him. Kind of makes a difference in this game. It would have been really close otherwise. And that's it's just one of those calls that's tough to make. I mean, Mark Ingram had a couple down weeks, but he sticks with his gun, and Mark Ingram, pulls a win out for him. I like that. Let's see here. Hot streak. Oh, yeah. Jamie was the hottest team in the league for a few weeks there. Goes off for 177 points 2 weeks ago. And, it's just, guys, this time of the year, you got to expect, with all the bye trouble, injuries starting to mount up, that number that I talk about on a week in and week out basis is really important. You got to get there. You got to be getting 115, 120. Jamie puts up 110, which I don't mind, but she doesn't get the win because she's, the highs and lows. I mean, look at James White this week only puts up 5 fantasy points. I mean, that's way down. I mean, New England goes in there to Tennessee and just gets trounced. It's terrible. Kenyon Drake, gosh, talk about a boomer bust player. This guy, I don't know what to do with him. He only got 9 carries for 27 yards, 2 catches for 11 yards. Frank Gore is still alive somehow, getting 20 carries a game in Miami. And Kenyon Drake, really, he's probably somebody she's going to have to continue to play for the rest of the year, but I don't think she's going to have to like it. And Travis Kelce doesn't show up for it. I mean, again, I say the score of the game is not indicative of what the fantasy players do. Kansas City wins 26-14. Pretty easy win. They're up most of the game, but Kelce doesn't score, doesn't get a ton of love, and only puts up 7 fantasy points for her. Where she's used to getting 15, 16 out of that spot. And that's why she falls short this week. Mike with the win. Good for him. Goes to 6-4. Leaves Jamie on the outside looking in the playoff picture right now. We'll have to see what happens there, but I mean, I'm glad I'm not 5-5 or 6-4. You guys have got decisions to make on a week in and week out basis that I'm glad I don't have to make. We'll go over to the next matchup. Great matchup here. Ridiculousness versus Lick My Tape, Alex Gideon's squad. I have McCaffrey hot. Connor has to be the man. Tyreek Hill. Hooper's birthday. Rams not big enough. Boyd trouble. No Mac. Let's see here. McCaffrey's hot. I mean, again, we talk about it. Or I've said it many times. The score's not necessarily indicative of what happened in the game or what the fantasy players did. Because, I mean, by all accounts, Carolina just got housed. Pittsburgh wins 52-21. So if you didn't watch the game, you go back home and you're like, man, what happened? McCaffrey must have scored 0 points. No, actually he scored all 3 touchdowns. Bunch of big receptions. Put up his biggest fantasy number of the year. And you got to be encouraged if you're a McCaffrey owner. I think it's just, he's going to stay at this high level, in my opinion. Like I said, I think he's going to be a number 1 overall draft pick next season in fantasy. McCaffrey goes off for 34. Connor has to be the man now. It is Tuesday at 7:30. No Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is not eligible to play. So, Anthony, you can drop him now. I'm glad you stuck on him this long for just in case, I guess, but it's going to be James Conner's backfield. And he has to be the man for it. With your lineup, he has to be the man. He's got to be a 20-point game scorer. Tyreek Hill, in that Kansas City matchup, he's the one that gets the love. Tyreek Hill goes off for, 29.2 points. He's the one that gets the love. Anthony benefits for that. That KC team, man, there's just so many players out there that put up points for you on a week in and week out basis. It's tough to pick the winner. And it's very rare that all of them are going to go off. And Hill goes off this week and definitely gives Anthony the win. Rams not big enough. On the surface, Goff gets 21, Gurley gets 24, but they're just not big enough for Alex. I mean, he's got to get more out of them. I mean, I guarantee you, if we looked at Alex's wins versus his losses, it would directly correlate between those 2 players and nobody else. Their big weeks, he's going to win. Their, not so big weeks, he's probably going to take an L. It's Hooper's birthday. Austin Hooper. Good start for Anthony. Starts Austin Hooper over Evan Ingram, and it gets him the win. Managerial decision right there. I would think that on the surface, going into the season, you would certainly think that Evan Ingram is going to be a week in and week out start. Not so much. Anthony picks up Austin Hooper, plugs him in this week, nets him at plus 10 points, and that's the difference in the game. We talked about this last week on Weekly, Alex. You still start Marvin Jones, a Lion, over Allen Robinson, a Bear, in a head-on-head matchup, and this costs you the win. You start Marlon Mack, which I don't mind as much, but I would have definitely started Breida over Mack. Correct me if I'm wrong in the feed, but I think I said both these things last week, and it cost you the win this week. You still put up a bigger number than I usually put up, but it costs you the win. And wins are critical right now. I mean, second place in the league right now is 6-4. So I mean, a couple more losses, and all of a sudden you guys are on the outside looking at it. No playoffs. You can't have any of that. Last matchup, Team Who Cares versus Team Who Cares. And wow, they must have watched last week. Because we get a barn burner. The biggest two scores of the week. Team Who Cares actually takes down Tim's Lone Rangers. 144 to 143. At least it made for a fun Monday Night Football. That's my only note, because I don't talk about teams that are going to not make the playoffs if they're not playing. I mean, this is a matchup I don't talk about. So, we're going to move on to Week 11. Quick side note, I always like to throw a little extra in there. And, I mean, honestly, I think that I'm 38 years old. I've gone through a lot of good sports times here in Detroit. It's so much fun, whether it was... And for me, it was the Bad Boy Pistons, and then even the '91 Lions that made us the NFC Championship game. The Going to Work Pistons in '04. That Red Wings run. I mean, I'm not even a hockey fan, but when I was in high school and my early 20s, I mean, when the Red Wings were on during the playoffs, I mean, we had a party about it. It was so much fun. The Tigers, their little run there from 06 to 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. Where are we right now, guys? Where is Detroit sports at? I mean, really, think about your four teams. I mean, I think out of the four teams, the best team out of the four might be the Detroit Pistons. And they're just mediocre, maybe a little bit above mediocre. They've got a little star power, but somehow they've turned their roster into an aging roster. They got their best player is a aging veteran who puts up good numbers and is exciting to watch, but he's injury prone. And Pistons might win 45 games this year. I mean, that's kind of what I think. So they're going to be the 5, 6, 7 seed in the East and probably lose in the first round, which sucks. And that's our best hope right now. Are we waiting for the Tigers to rebuild 3 years from now? We're looking at 2021 when they're actually good. I mean, I don't care about the Red Wings until they're actually really good, so I can't comment on that. And the Lions have been the Lions. They've been the Lions, and man, I mean, every time you think that you've got something going, we got that New England culture coming in here. Stafford really is a star now. Then all of a sudden, Stafford has this type of season. Where are we at? What do we have to look forward to? I mean, seriously, are we just going to watch Michigan and Michigan State football and basketball? Is that all we get to do to come together as a community and celebrate? We need those parades, man. It's good for the community. It's good for people. It unites people. I mean, I'll tell you, one great thing about sports is it bridges all cultural, religious divides. It doesn't matter if I'm a millionaire and I'm at the Lions game and the guy sitting in front of me, I'm a millionaire conservative Republican, and the guy sitting in front of me is a union, liberal Democrat. But when the Lions come back to win the game on the last play of the game, I mean, we are standing and cheering together, slapping high fives, arm in arm out of the stadium, a total stranger. And that's the beauty of sports. And we don't have that right now. And I think we need it. We need it. Somebody's got to make something happen. I don't know what the solution is either. So tell me what the solution is, and I will move on to Week 11. I mean, the rubber's starting to hit the road here. I mean, the teams at 6 and 4 and 5 and 5. I mean, you have to win. You got to score a lot of points every week. I've been there before. I don't envy your position, but legitimately, you got to do dirty stuff right now. I'm talking picking up that kicker, projected by 2 more points. One thing I will say, another side note about your strategy at this time of the season, if you do feel confident that you're going to make the playoffs, now's the time to start looking at week 14, 15, 16. You might have been holding on to that rookie running back or receiver that you hope might blow up, and he still hasn't. Well, he's probably not going to now. So start looking at those matchups. What defense is playing Buffalo in week 14? Who has a good string of defensive matchups week 14, 15? Those type of things. I mean, that's really what you got to do now. If you're confident you're going to make the playoffs, start doing that too. First matchup we're going to look at is, let's see here. Alex Giddings, Lick My Tate Squad versus Team Who Cares. I think this Team Who Cares actually the Lone Rangers. No Breida, Rams matchup, Ertz, Philly D, question mark pickup. It's all about Zeke. 2 kickers. Let's see here. No Breida. Yeah, Breida's out this week. I think that should be a play for Alex on a week-in and week-out basis, so he's losing a little value there on the bye. He's going to be forced to start Marlon Mack. Tyler Boyd, yeah, and Tyler Boyd didn't show up for you. He was one of those Bengals that didn't show up from last week. Tyler Boyd was supposed to be like a daily fantasy last Sunday. I mean, he was like the number one. I mean, he started in like 25-30% of leagues because he should get all the love that AJ Green's out and they're playing against the Saints. He just doesn't show up. So I don't know. Is Boyd just like a enigma that'll put up a big number one week and then he's gonna shit the bed the next week? I don't know. The Rams matchup, kind of like how I look at Jack's team, I'm going to look at the Rams matchup for Alex's team, and I like it because it's versus Kansas City, and now it's in LA. Apparently the Mexicans can't get Azteca Stadium under control. Like literally, they can't get the field in proper playing conditions, so they've moved that game from Mexico City back to LA. So that's a big bump for the Rams, I guess. I think it's just going to be a shootout. I mean, and so does Yahoo. I mean, they have Goff and Gurley both projected at 27 big fantasy points. Zach Ertz at New Orleans. I think that's going to be another huge number for Alex. The Saints did kind of shut down the Bengals last week. But, Philadelphia, they're coming off a tough loss against Dallas at home. They are champions. I think they will show up this week. I think Ertz goes off for a 20-burger. Philly D. Oh, Tim's starting Philadelphia's defense right now. I hope he picks somebody else up because that's just a terrible start. You can't start anybody against New Orleans. All about Zeke. That just means that if Tim wants to even have a, chance in hell of winning this game, he better hope that Ezekiel Elliott puts up 35, not 17. Yeah, I'm sure Tim still has 2 kickers. Yes, he still has 2 kickers. So, win goes to Alex, goes to 7-4. And I think at 7-4, he can securely put himself in the playoffs. He's going to be a playoff team, I think, no matter what. But this will put him over the top. It's a good time to get Tim. Little bit of, just a little bit of cushion. Get yourself in the playoffs. Good for you, Alex. Congratulations. Welcome to the playoffs. Second matchup, I'm going to go with Swedenhouse Buffet versus Who Cares, which is the better Who Cares team. This is actually Team Who Cares. Quarterback issues, full running back stack. Pick up a defense, set up for playoffs. David Johnson, Cook is back, and spoiler. Let's see here. Mike, Tom Brady on a bye this week, which I don't know if that's a bad thing. Brady really has not put up a number for you, Mike. So, you get out there in waiver land. I'm sure there's somebody else sitting there at 17 projected points. Find a good matchup. Plug in somebody. Mike has this full running back stack intact again today, or for this week, with Gordon, Barkley, and Mark Ingram. I think that's probably how he's going to roll the rest of the year. Mike's got to pick up a defense because he's starting in Kansas City at LA. I love this matchup as a fan or as a fantasy owner of an offensive player. We're certainly not going to start Kansas City's defense. Go out there and get yourself Baltimore at home against Cincinnati, or maybe Arizona. I think they might be home against Oakland, another dumpster fire. So that could work out for you. Definitely go make that pickup as soon as you can. And set up for playoffs. I kind of touched on it already a bit. But, Mike's, kind of with Alex and Jack, where he's 6-4, decent on points, so he should be comfortably in the playoffs. But, start looking at weeks 14, 15, 16. See what you can do. Is there a good defense you can pick up? Good matchup you can find in those playoff matchups, that you might want to, go ahead and get now so you're not waiting on them in the playoffs pickup during that waiver week. For epic fail, I think David Johnson could have a big week this week. He had finally his first big week last week against the Chiefs. He put up 20-something fantasy points. He's home against Oakland this week. Maybe we'll get some more love for David Johnson. Definitely the key to his matchup. Dalvin Cook is back as well. So, there's a couple good things. I called out this team as one of the best teams in the league week 1. And through bad luck, attrition, and injury, he's proceeded to lose a lot of games, and he's 2-8. Not going to make the playoffs, but I like that he's still playing. And his whole job the rest of the season is to play spoiler. Kick one of these teams out of the playoffs so you can talk some shit at work, buddy. That's what you got to do, man. Next matchup, 4th and 20 versus Amari Sodomizer. I have Houston, KC, 2 kickers. Drop Murray, drop Patterson, Cooper, and Fournette. Let's see here. No, I should have taken care of this before. Hopefully I can figure out how to edit this, but I had a little bad. I'll be right back, though. No, I don't think that was that long, though. So we're going to treat that like a commercial break. You got a little Hall & Oates intro there. So let's see here. Houston, KC, 2 kickers. Yeah, all right. We're there, 4th and 20 versus Amari's Sodomizer. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Let's see here. It's all about the matchups. It's for both these teams. You got Steven's team relying on the Houston Texans with Watson, Hopkins, and Lamar Miller. We have Jack's team. He's KC. He's got Mahomes, and he's got Kareem Hunt. Patrick Mahomes projected 32.5 points this week. I've never seen these type of numbers before, and he might just get them. So that's where this matchup is going to hinge on if you like KC at the Rams or you like Houston at Washington. Last matchup, I'm going to go with Mike Lewin. Sorry, I don't think I said that. Let's see here. So, Murray, yeah. Steve, you got to drop Latavius Murray. Dalvin Cook's back. Murray's not going to get any love. You got to drop Cordell Patterson because Sony Michel's back, and they're on a bye, so he's going to be back to 100%. Michelle might actually start cutting into James White's touches, so Cordell Patterson's definitely going to be pushed back out to wide receiver. Not going to see any of those, I formation here, give the ball to Cordell Patterson, which was a bonus, but that's not going to happen anymore. And then let's see here. I like Fournette, and I like Cooper for him. These are, he held on to Fournette. I think Fournette's back and for real again. Jacksonville's going to try and make a push. And Amari Cooper, I don't mind the pickup, especially if Dale starts winning a couple games. He's going to be a clear number 1 receiver on the Dallas Cowboys, which is a huge pickup for Steven. 4th and 20, I talk about it all the time. I'll harp on it, but it's going to come down to his KC matchup, Alvin Kamara, and then he's just got a bunch of depth issues. Where we're starting, Corey Davis, we're starting Devin Funchess. Jimmy Graham, you're going to start him, but Tyler Lockett, it's not somebody I have to start. It's kind of, he's just boom or bust with the KC Chiefs. I will go with 4th and 20 this week. I think that Rams-Chiefs game is going to be an absolute shootout. Probably be something like 35-31, somewhere in there. And I think Steve's going to be in trouble there. Go back to 6-5. Going to find himself in a log jam, down bad on points, and he's going to have to get some. He's going to have to get some serious wins and some serious points if he wants to be a playoff team. Shocking off myself versus the Breeze Knees. This is an old rivalry. I played Jamie in fantasy a few times. I don't know how I turned out, but let's see. I've got bye week running backs, Kelsey shootout, bad matchups, and Jordan out. Let's see. She has to do some plugging here at running back, so I'm getting a little bit of a break there. She's going to have to start Alex Collins, probably put Fitzgerald in at the flex, move Coleman up to a running back spot, So she's not, no Drake, no White. No James White's a big deal. I like that. That shootout, KC versus LA, I think that's where this matchup hinges. I mean, if Travis Kelce can go off for 22 points, something like that, gets himself a couple scores, I think I'm in deep trouble. And Jordan Howard, I guess he's just a bench play now. Like, he's just going to sit there. I mean, Tariq Cohen is taking all the snaps away from him.
Truly is the capital of esports.
I'm really going to have to rely on Michael Thomas getting a big number. It's tough. You know what? This is unprecedented in my podcast, but I'm going to pick Jamie's team to win. I just see I see Travis Kelce put up a big number against LA. Breeze at home. She's got a solid lineup, and I don't know. I think I'm going to end up winning the regular season. I kind of feel like I'm going to back into it with a couple of the injuries I've had. I'm making some bye week pickups here with a couple of my defenses that I'm going to pick up. Looking forward to the playoffs and things like that. So, I want to win this matchup. I hope I do, but I've got to be honest. I think it's going to be Jamie's win. I'm going to go to the last matchup. The matchup of the week is Anthony Johnson's Ridiculous Squad versus Derek LaPointe's Auto Draft the win in the Thunderdome. See, defensive pickup, Yeldon, Booker, Blunt, tight end pickup, bye week trouble, Cooper or Ingram, and Drop Bell. I'll do that one first. Drop Bell. He's not going to play. It's official. He's ineligible to play. You're holding on to him like he's a mascot now. Make him your logo if you want to. He probably already is. He is, yes. So you can't worry about him. He's gone. And you have James Conner, so good for you. I do like that you start Calvin Ridley every week too, Anthony, because he should be a starter. See, defensive pickup. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, so Derek makes that nice plug-and-play last week with Buffalo's defense, but he's going to have to go find somebody this week. He's got no defense on the bench. Probably going to drop Buffalo's defense. Look to pick up Baltimore, maybe Arizona, somebody like that. Both available in our leagues. There's a little free advice. Let's see here. Yeah, and we just got a lot of wasted spots here, Derek, honestly. TJ Yeldon. Devontae Booker. LeGarrette Blount, all at some point in this season, maybe had a reason to be rostered. At this point in the season, none. Booker and Blount both projected at 2 points. Yeldon at 5. Yeldon's playing behind Hyde and Fournette. Probably going to get third down, so it's not that bad of a play. And then, Blount and Booker, they're not going to do much. Tight end pickup. Oh, man. Derek's team. No George Kittle this week? That's tough, Derek. That's somebody you've been relying on and making up money on the rest of the league. You got to get out there. If there's just nobody on your bench, go find the best one, plug him in. For Anthony Hooper or Ingram, I think this is a decision he's going to have to make on a week-in and week-out basis. In this case, I like Evan Ingram playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. The Giants actually get a win last week. Hooper, Hooper's been in the league for a while. He's not a young guy. He's a boomer bust play. And he's put up numbers for you, I get it, but I go with Ingram this week for a safer, higher floor play. We talked about that. We're going to drop Le'Veon Bell, but he's done. That's all we got for Week 11 in fantasy football. I want to thank all of you for playing this year. A couple suggestions I have for next season. I would really like to get it up to 12 players. I think that we are, in our league, at 10. Either we're going to get it to 12 players or have a deeper bench, because you really still can pick up decent players out on waivers, and we're in Week 11. They shouldn't exist anymore. So those are two things I want. If you got a friend that wants to play next year, somebody loosely related to Clubhouse BFD, like they went in there and had a beer one time, I'm cool with that. Let's do that. I want to thank Clubhouse BFD, Scott LePage, Griffin Club Brewing Company, and the 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan. Have a good night.